I remember folks speaking with the sister of Guy Joseph. And one of the things she told me, they are against Stephen King because of the airport. A&M was formed within a month after we won the elections. And after getting contracts worth millions and millions of dollars, a company that has had no established record wanted the airport for $150 million US. And even I sent Stephen King many text messages saying, we're not going down that road. That company, I have my suspicions, we're not going there. I was quite vociferous in my opposition to that company doing the airport. I sent Stephen King tens and tens of text messages until I was even offered a bribe. But guess what? When I reported it to Stephen King, I wouldn't even tell you his answer. His bribe was bigger than mine. You know? And that is what is going on. That is what is going on. But if you think that is bad, I want to go into the operations of a company called A&M, Asphalt and Mining. You know, many politicians, they come into politics claiming, I'm coming to help. But yes, they are coming to help. They are coming to help themselves. They are coming to help their family. And they are coming to help their relatives and friends. That's who they come to help. Not you. Not the average Joe. Not the average man on the street. Themselves. You know, the United Workers' Party won the elections in December 2006. At the time we won the elections, the company called A&M was nowhere in existence insofar as companies registered in St Lucia is concerned. It was nowhere around. And trust me, I have all the documents in relation to A&M. I can tell you who is what, who is not what, which company has shares, which company does not have shares, etc., etc., etc. But that company saw the light of day in St Lucia after we won the elections in 2006, and after Guy Joseph was assigned the portfolio of Ministry of Communications and Works. Now, folks, anything I say is a fact and can be verified. Whatever I say is a fact. Good. So the company was formed after we won the elections. And one would not believe the first person's name that was used for the company's incorporation, Andre Edgar, my partner, a taxi driver. That company did not have a spade, a wheelbarrow, nothing at all in relation to heavy equipment, nothing at all in relation to construction. All it had was a name. A&M. A&M. However, that company in January, on the 6th of January 2009, I have the contracts, you know, even if you can't see them. On the 6th of January 2009, that company that was just formed received the contract on the Alan Busque Highway, Union to Babuno project for $12,240,104.80. Listen well. Listen well. Okay? We won in December, January 2007, January 2009, $12,240,104. Now, I will tell you some things that all those contractors, all those contracts have in common. Okay? Let me not speak to the advance yet. So on the 6th of January 2009, 12 million. 1 year later, March 2010, a year and 3 months, a year and 2 months later, another contract, Usher to Deriso Road, $10,549,804. Okay? January of 2009, 12 million. March 2010, $10,549,810. March 2010. October 2011. Another year and change after. And remember, elections were on the 20th of November. That is a mere month and 2 weeks or thereabout before elections. Another contract, Boca's Sunbuilt and Entrepot Roads, for $9,486,138. So if you take the period of January 2009 to October 2011, that is 2 years, January to January 2011, 2 years, 10 months. Okay? 2 years, 10 months, 34 months. Am I right? 2 years would be 24 months. In 34 months, a company that was just formed received contracts totaling 12 and 10, 22 and 9, $31 million in 34 months. In 34 months, a company that was just formed, and that's not all, you know, that's just 3 contracts. 3. Received contracts totaling $31 million, almost $1 million a month. Who were the workers at A&M? Guy Joseph's relatives, among others. A company recently formed within a period of 34 months would be awarded about $31+ million in contracts, averaging almost $1 million a month. Is that fair? Is that right? So you understand what's behind all of this? I will not stand for it. Now, what is even worse, all the contracts speak to design, construct, and finance. All of them speak to the contractor financing the entire project. Okay? Yet, design, build, finance means the contractor has the money, he's financing the project, not relying on government, and when he's through, you pay him. However, all of them make provision for total advance payment of 20% plus mobilization. You hear me? You hear me? So on the $12 million contract, they would get $2.4 million in advance. In advance of doing anything, plus mobilization. But it is supposed to be design, construct, finance. You know? Is that fair? Is that right? Would I have encouraged that had I known? Definitely not. And I'll tell you what I did not encourage. I'll tell you. Now here you have, and further, none of those contracts were tendered upon. None of those contracts did A&M put in a bid. None of them. To say they were competing with other contractors. None of them. You know? Boy. So you understand when politicians come and tell you, vote for me, I will help you. You will help me. You'll help yourself. The contract of October 2011, a mere couple weeks before elections, it was signed by Bufalina Ramjuan, a sister of Guy Joseph. It was signed on behalf of A&M by a sister of Guy Joseph. And they received payments of over $2 million just before the elections. Of 2011. You think that's right? You think that's fair? It is supposed to be design, finance, construct. But in every contract, over $2 million was received by the time you take the 20% plus mobilization. And in fact, Guy Joseph admitted that this is his sister. His minister, his sister signs on behalf of A&M. And they get $2.something million before the elections of 2011. So you're telling me that we need to turn a blind eye to all of this and support it implicitly? And that is why I wanted to Alan Shasta to answer the question, God forbid, should he win the elections, will he make Guy Joseph Minister of Communication and Works again? Questions, questions, questions. Now, hear the difference. The government, the current government, entered into a contract with CIE, Renault. It is the same design, construct, and build. Listen to me well, you know, folks. It is the same design, construct, and build. The total, it was for $29 million. Total advance payments not applicable. In other words, if you're saying you're going to finance the contract, why should I give you an advance? In Reynolds' case, it says the advance is not applicable because the contract is to design, finance, and build. All of those three awarded to A&M say the same thing. Design, finance, build. But in every case, they were given mobilization plus 20% advance. You know, whatever is hidden in the dark must come to light. And a mere weeks before elections, a couple weeks before elections, that one is signed and an advance is given of $2.4 or thereabout million. Now, in addition to none of those contracts being tendered upon, none of them were tendered upon. A&M gosh, now don't tell me I lose my documents. I can't afford to do that. Right. In addition to that, A&M wasn't satisfied. So in 34 months, they get $31 million worth of contracts, although they were just formed. They don't have a spade for less a wheelbarrow. They wanted the airport for $400 million. 150 million US. And that one was the one I ended up finding about. So we started off with 9 million, 10 million, 12 million. That's not enough. It's time to get into the hundreds of millions. We played those small figures enough already. Let's go up. So they wanted to do the airport at a cost of 150 million US or 400 million EC. And that is where left, right, and center money was beginning to be offered. You know? But that is what I would have never stood for. Like A&M just fell from the sky. From the sky. You know, they don't tender on anything. They get it. Don't ask me why myself. I don't know. I don't know. You know? What is even worse? What is even worse? You know, there were projects. There were projects. I'm not saying, you know, like, I'm proud of this. I don't have one brother, sister, or relative that can open their mouth to say, I gave them a contract while I was minister. None. None at all. But it appears that was a family affair. You know, I remember there was a payment that was made to Glenroy Ramjuan. That's another brother of Guy Joseph. For $63,000. There was something to be done at the airport. Nothing was done. The payment was made. Another brother, Rightis. You know, anything I say, trust me, I have the evidence. Trust me. Another brother, Rightis, who is supposedly a mechanic. You know, there was the desilting of the Vanna intake that Wasco estimated at $65,000. He was paid $240,000 for that job. $240,000. for a $65,000 job. And in fact, if you go to Tapio now, go to the hospital, you will see write his name on another board there. The stabilization of the Tapio lands, Righties contractor, Righties Joseph. The mechanic Righties is the same one, yes. This guy Joseph's brother, yes. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, there's only so much that as a people we ought to tolerate and not speak out. This is intolerable. It is. You know, my sister all the way in New York said, we thought you were selfish, but they can't say you gave your siblings contracts. That's right, sis. That's right. Good night to you, Frances. Michael, all of you there, good night. Melissa, and all of you. You know, how can we as a society tolerate and condone that kind of thing? Millions to one family while others suffer across the length and breadth of this country. And we don't think. Or some of us pretend that we don't. You know, some of us pretend that we don't. I can never forget that one time I walked into the Prime Minister's office, Stephenson King, and he was just scratching his head. It was after Hurricane Thomas. And bills were coming from Ministry of Communications and Works, helter-skelter. In the first 3 months, $19 million was spent. And it's not Stephenson King that gave anybody contract. $19 million was spent on cleanup works for Hurricane Thomas. You know, we need to open our eyes. We need to understand that some of those things, you know, I mean, I have here a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 42, 43, 44. My God, hiring of truck, $39,000. Hiring of truck, $39,000. You know, 42 contracts to a brother, a sister, and a brother-in-law, totaling $2.6 million. I mean, is that fair? Is it right? Where's the equity in this, man? Where is it? We each have an opening on the lower portion of our faces that is cut from left to right. Not only some people. All of us have to eat, man. Everybody has a right to survive, not one family. And therefore, it is a shame that we as a country accept all of this and we do absolutely nothing about it. And I'll tell you what, after all those contracts, and there was no bidding on the contracts, although it says design finance bill, there was always a 20% advance payment. In addition to that, A&M wanted the airport for $400 million. And that it was at that time Stephenson King put his foot down. And he said, no way am I going to sanction this airport to A&M for $400 million. No way I'm going to do it. And that is why, I've said it on the show before, Guy Joseph's sister said to me in Tiroche, the date Alan Shastey was nominated by the Soufre delegation, she said to me, we have to get rid of King. I said, why? He didn't do the airport. So that airport obviously was something that that family was looking to capitalize on. But it's not right. It's not fair. And I really don't, it doesn't matter who like me, who hate me, who feel indifferent about me. But I owe my country a duty. I owe my people a responsibility to speak out on what I see is blatantly wrong. I will take a very short break. When I come up, I'm going to sum up. I don't think I have the time for calls. Elections are on the horizon. But I will just say some short words before parting. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Thanks for staying tuned. I've received several messages whilst I was on air. One reads that the United Workers' Party is to ask Steve to stand down as their candidate. I mean, that makes no sense to me, but it is currently on the internet because nomination day has passed and he is the nominee, unless I'm not sure if he can run independent, but you know, that is what it seemingly says. Let me say a special good night to Natalie Dabrio. How are you, Natalie? I know you're fine. I'm sure you're tuned in. You know, I know you're always tuned in. You know, and I got another message a while ago from somebody who worked within the cabinet area and reminded me that A&M had proposed to have redone the shock roundabout. Yes, I remember that. You know, and there was a fallout with the Prime Minister Steve at the time. A&M had proposed to essentially destroy what is existing at Shock and to redo the roundabout. And the person reminded me Steve had put his foot down on that one as well. So there's seemingly Stephenson King is a history attached to the reason why Guy indicated that if you had not been removed as leader of the opposition, he would have resigned. Because apparently you were stopping the inflow of dough. So folks, I'm also advised that a lot of the information here, you know, $31 million worth of contracts in 34 months, averaging almost $1 million a month.